So is homesteading just a fad? I don't think so. I notice in recent years you see it's gotten a lot more popular on social media, on YouTube. You see all these various homestead and farming channels on YouTube, and well, to be honest with you, that's what this is. This is another one. I know this channel is very small, but my goal is to grow it and kind of share some of the things that I've learned and share some of the things that I'm going to do. And it's also for selfish reasons too. I can look at this 5, 10 years from now and see what I've accomplished and where I've been, and I can show my kids. And it's just a way to kind of document some of my progress. But um, I just don't think homesteading and rural living is going anywhere anytime soon. People are tired of all the drama that's going on in the world. I mean, social media has gotten out of control. Everyone has a phone in their hand all the time, which, I'm guilty of that. I have one right here recording this video. Um, but you look at the world today. Like I was just watching the news recently, just this afternoon, and there's bombings going on in the Middle East. There's riots, protesting going on in California. They say there's going to be more protesting and riots, possibly throughout the country this weekend. This weekend, they're expecting it could get a little crazy. I hope not. But it just seems like every time I turn on the news, there's just something new going on. There's always something crazy going on, and people want to change. People are tired of the hustle and bustle of the rat race and whatever else you want to call it, and people just want to slow down. They want to get back to a simpler way of living. I didn't say an easier way of living, but a simpler way of living. It's not easy living a rural life, being in the middle of nowhere. You have to. Part of the reason people have large gardens and they grow their own food and they're able to fix things is because they don't have a choice. My grandmother grew up in eastern Kentucky, and I've heard many stories growing up. They didn't have a car. She had a large family, and they had to fix things. They had to grow their own food. There was no choice. I mean, you talk about going to town. I mean, it was a big deal to go to the store and get something you needed. Now, I mean, anybody can just hop in their car, get it whatever they want, order DoorDash. I mean, everything is just at the touch of a button on your phone. Everything's so convenient. So when you take a step back from that convenience and you choose to live a rural lifestyle or a homestead type of lifestyle, it's different. It's not easy, but I think it's rewarding. I would much rather have the peace of knowing where my food comes from and the peace of having my own private setting, my little private world, than to live in a neighborhood. I currently live in a neighborhood, and I'll be honest with you, I hate it. This is a temporary situation that we're in because we about a year and a half ago we switched states. We moved from Florida to Kentucky. We're not from Florida. We're originally from Ohio, so we've had a few large moves over the last 5 years, just due to job changes and some different things we've had going on. But Kentucky is our home now. We've always liked Kentucky. I really like it here. I don't plan to stay in this particular town, but I really like the state of Kentucky. I think it's just a beautiful area of the country. I love Appalachia. I just really like this area. Um, but I don't like the neighborhood life. I don't like the being right next to your neighbors. I don't like that. I want to have some land. I would love to be able to have somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 to 50 acres. Now, some of you might say that's ridiculous. Why in the world would you need that much? Well, I don't. I think it would be wonderful to have, 30 to 50 acres and only take care of maybe 5 to 10, and the rest of it just be wooded and, privacy, and you could hunt on it. You could do whatever you wanted with it. And to me, that's what I want. I want the privacy. I want to be able to just take care of my family in a different way, maybe in an old fashioned way. I'm not trying to say I want to become Amish or I want to go backwards in time. No, I still want to have electricity and I still want to have uh, tractors and equipment. I'm not saying that, there's some people, they really go extreme with it and they go off grid. My plan is not to go off grid. Now, I have no problem with that, and if um, I'm sure I'll have solar panels and I'm going to do things to be as self sufficient as possible. But really, it's just peaceful. I mean, if you ever go get some time, if you don't live in a rural setting, let's say you live in a neighborhood, go to your backyard and just look around. And yes, there can be peaceful moments. And then go take a drive and go to somewhere that is just maybe a park or somewhere out in the middle of nowhere, and then just get out of your car or your truck and look around. I mean, it's just so peaceful to have that land and that nature around you. It really does, I think, do something to you. And so I don't think homesteading and rural living is going anywhere. I don't believe it's a fad. I think it's grown in popularity because people are starting to get away from their phones. They're starting to turn off social media. I really think that 2020, the whole COVID fiasco, was a kind of a wake up call to a lot of people. A lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people um, figured out what it was like to work remotely, and they understood the importance of having multiple streams of income. And they began to think about their life in a different way. Like, wow, so many people are dying, and there's so many things that can change so quickly. What can I do differently that will make a life more fulfilling? And I think sometimes getting back to a simpler way of living is the way to go. So I don't think homesteading is going anywhere. Um, what do you think in the comments? Do you currently live a rural lifestyle, or are you kind of like me? You're in kind of an in between stage of life. You're working your way towards it. I'm currently saving up for a down payment to get some land. Um, are you saving up for it? Do you already have it, or do you think that lifestyle is too hard or ridiculous? You don't want to do it. Where are you at in your thought process? Me, I can't wait. I'm working as much overtime as I can. I'm selling stuff. I'm doing everything I can to reach that point. Um, but it's probably going to be a little while because we do have three children and we are currently in a pretty good school district. So we probably are going to wait until our kids are finished with school. We had kids very young, but we are working our way towards that. And I hope you are too. I think everybody deserves to have a little piece of land. I don't think we're made to live right on top of each other in our neighborhood. I just don't think that's a healthy way to do things.